In this video, we are going to cover myofascial release around the shoulder. The reason we want to do this is to get our shoulders feeling good. There's tension in the areas that we're going to roll out, and we want to get them feeling good, get them moving properly, and a self-massage using some of these tools is a great way to do that. The areas we're going to cover: triceps, biceps, rear delt, T-spine, traps, lats, and chest. So 7 different areas. The tools we're going to use: lacrosse ball. You can also use a tennis ball for this one. This is called yoga tune-up balls. I highly recommend this product from Jill Miller. Really great and useful tool to have. This is a tote, and it's got 2 yoga tune-up balls inside. Lastly, foam roller. So first movement we're going to do is myofascial release. We'll start down lower on the arm, is going to be the biceps right here. So I'm going to spread out so you can see me. The area I'm going to roll is right here. So I'm going to lay on the ground, place the ball right in that area. And so hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to roll it out. With all these, you can always modify the pressure you put into the ball. So distribute your weight so that it's an appropriate amount of pressure where you feel the ball pushing into the tissue, but not so much that you're in pain and like clenching up, because that is the opposite of what we want. We want to relax this area. So just rolling out. I'm not doing anything special in terms of my movement. I'm just kind of going side to side and up and down and exploring. Okay? In terms of time, I will typically do this for 1 to 2 minutes. 2 minutes is usually a good target. Next up, triceps. I'm going to roll the back here in this region. I like to put my arm out to the side so that I can kind of get my shoulder in and out. Some of the best people to follow in this area are Kelly Starrett. He has a book called The Supple Leopard, and Jill Miller has a book out called The Role Model, and that's where I learned a lot of these techniques. Both are great resources if you want to deep dive into this type of stuff. This is a good kind of general start. So I'm just digging in and exploring different corners, rolling that area out. Next up, nearby the tricep, which is down here, I'm going to go into the rear delt. So same lacrosse ball, it's going into the rear delt here. I can do a couple different techniques here. First one is called contract relax. So I'm going to squeeze my fist, contract that muscle, make it tight for a moment, and then relax it. And that's going to allow the ball to push in deeper into the tissue. So you might get a bit more change when you're doing this. The second technique is going to be just mini circles. So I'm just rolling. I was already doing that with a lot of the other ones. Is I'm just creating oscillations, moving back and forth. And then the last one is going to be, it's called flossing. You're just going back with the hand and then forward, putting my shoulder into internal and external rotation, and you can kind of feel the tissue gliding across the ball when I do this. Next up, we're going to go to the lats, which is also in this area, right underneath here. The best tool I found for this is to use a foam roller. So put it right under your armpit here, and I have my hand above, and I'm just rolling up and down and then also side to side. So you can see I'm going forward and backward. We're just searching out for tight corners and trying to roll those areas out. I'll typically do both sides, of course, but in the interest of time and the video, I'll just do one side. Okay, we hit our lats, working our way around. We are going to go up to the traps, okay? Now, I can't demonstrate this one very well, but I'm going to have you kind of visualize it. So I'm going to roll out my traps by putting pressure in this area. My traps are the muscle that connects my neck and goes into the shoulder. So this area can be really tight for a lot of people, and so I'd recommend going up against the wall, and I'll kind of demonstrate. I'll just kind of go against the wall here, and I'm pushing in horizontally. I'm pushing the ball into my trap. This isn't a great setup because I need the wall to be able to push into it. And typically I'll do this on my feet, okay? And so this is a great movement, or it's not a movement, it's a great myofascial release technique because a lot of people have tension up in their traps, okay? Next up, we're going to go to the T-spine. So I'm gonna use these two lacrosse balls, or yoga tune-up balls in this case, on my mid-back. So my T-spine is below my neck and kind of the upper to middle back here, not down here, more in this region, okay? So I'm placing them down. The way that this set is set up is I will put my spine right in the middle so that the balls are massaging the muscles on my back, not necessarily the bones. So in this position, I like to cross my arms or put my arms over my head and pin my elbows together. Now I'm just rolling up and down on this one. Not too much to it in terms of technique, just rolling up and down. The only thing I'll say is that if you lift your hips up, you'll get more pressure into the balls. If you are just staying on the ground, you'll have less pressure. The last one that I'd like to cover is the chest smash. And so you can do this on the wall as well, similar to the trap smash, but I'm going to demonstrate here on the ground. So a similar position to the bicep. I'm just placing the lacrosse ball in this region of my chest. Now with this position, you can do a couple things with your hand. See, I can put this behind my back and roll. I can put it out to the side and roll. And I'm using this hand to either put more pressure or less pressure. This one I'm just exploring around. This is a good opportunity to do the contract, relax, move to different arm angles. You'll find that puts your chest muscle into different stretch positions. And I'm rolling out. Okay? So we just covered a lot of regions around the shoulder and rolling out those tissues. If they're tight, this is a great way to relieve them. It's called myofascial release, and it's a great tool to keep yourself feeling good. This one specifically for the shoulder. All these different regions connect to the shoulder in some way or control the shoulder. And so give this a try, see what it does for you. Maybe some of the areas are not so tight, maybe others are really tight, and you'll have to personalize what's best for you and utilize these techniques for what you need. Good luck and hope it helps.